Don't forget to like and subscribe. Today I'm starting with the Pie Oil Cleanser. It's a really gentle and it works great for sensitive skin, especially brown skin. I love how effective it is. It has that rosehip oil in it, which is really gentle, and it is massaging it into the skin in order to remove dirt and the free radicals. So that's what you really want to focus on when you're working on your first cleanse. And I really like this cleanser outside of it just being really sensitive skin friendly. Is because it's a very light oil, so it's not very heavy. What I really also like to do next is add a bit of water to really emulsify that cleanser, and which it turns into a milky cleanser. Some oil cleansers can be a bit heavy, so it is easier to remove, along with soften the skin and really remove any SPF as well, because SPF can be very thick and it really is good when you're removing any waterproof mascara as well. It just really helps lift up all of that dirt and impurities. So for the second cleanse, I am using the Sculpt Honey Brightening Cleanser, and this helps with hyperpigmentation, and I mix it a little bit with the Dermalogica Daily Microfoliant Cleanser. And so I mix them together and I use a brush for the exfoliation. And then in the meantime, I like to take my sponges and just remove that first cleanse, that milky cleanse. What I really like about the Honey Brightening Cleanser is it really helps brighten the skin and it addresses hyperpigmentation, but it also strengthens the barrier and enhances that cellular renewal turnover. So it has about 2.5% mandelic acid, 2.5% lactic acid, and it has the black beet only in it. So that really helps with that skin support and skin barrier so that it's not too tough on your skin, and it really boosts hydration as well. Next, I let the client sit under the steam with the cleanser and the exfoliant. Now this is just a direct steam hit just to really increase that cellular renewal. That's done, I use a hot towel to help with the softening process, and this is essential before doing extractions to ensure the skin is prepped properly. Then I kind of just pat it in just to make sure all the heat is really hitting the skin and all the steam is also as well. So then I turn the steamer off and I prepare for extractions. I get my gloves. I really just focus on removing any of the excess cleanser and exfoliant. The thing with the microfoliants is the beads can be a bit stubborn, so you really want to make sure you remove everything. Afterwards, I take a towel off and I apply a gauze to hold the degreasing solution. And so here you just want to really make sure it's properly placed on the skin and making sure they can breathe and their face is not covered. So now I'm applying the Disincrustation Solution by Dermalogica, the multi-active scaling solution. I really like this one just because it has a really gel-like formula, so it's not really runny for the most part. And I would really say that this formula also a little bit goes a long way. Like, you don't need that much to make a big difference when it comes to the spreading, especially if you use a brush. I don't really recommend using your fingers or anything like that. And also when you are prepping for extractions or even starting the extraction process, always use gloves, because you will be dealing with bacteria and oil and anything that comes out of the pores. So you just want to make sure you're being sanitary and protecting yourself and the client. Next thing I really like to do is, for the last mark of just locking in that moisture, is add another hot towel on top. So now we have the steam going, we have the hot towels, and we are ready to start our extraction process. So the next thing that you do is remove the gauze mask, and then you start using your BT Micro. You can check in the corner just to kind of see how the extractions look a bit close up, and you can really kind of see all the good stuff that comes up. I really like to start with the T area. Since this client has more of a normal to combination skin type, I really focus on just that T-zone area. So within the T-zone area, you have a lot of sebaceous filaments, and that's what I'm really focusing on with the BT Micro. She doesn't really have any bigger acne or smaller acne on any other places of her face, but she was really congested in her T-zone area. I think the BT Micro does a great job of helping deal with congestion, especially prepared properly. It's not going to hurt or damage the skin used correctly. And it really helps with those little corners and the sides of the nose where you feel like you have so much congestion there and you don't know how to get it out, or you want to use more kind of kind of vibration to kind of swiggle all of those small areas. Vibration really helps shake the sebum out the pore. But I do recommend using this as a professional only. So for my next step, I'm using the Tower 28 hypochloric acid spray. I love hypochloric acid because it helps remove any bacteria on the skin, and it really helps close up those pores. You can use a toner, but this is my recommended one for keeping it really clean in there. Next, I'm going in with the Naturopathica Go-To Cola Balm for a facial massage, and I'll also be using this for the Gua Sha. I love the Go-To Cola Balm. This is one of my favorite products ever. Just because another thing it uses, like a little bit goes a long way. Like you can use a tiny scoop and it could cover your entire face because it's super hydrating. But another really big thing when it comes to the Go-To Cola Balm is that it is non-comedogenic. Non-comedogenic means that it will not break you out, or it should not break you out. But most of the time it just doesn't break you out because the properties used in it are very antibacterial, anti-inflammatory. So it's for mostly sensitive skin, but anybody can use it. If it says it's for sensitive skin, 9 times out of 10, everybody can use it. So I really like to use barrier strengthening products, but also it has a really good shine, and it has just an amazing way of locking in moisture, but still being able to not overclog the skin's pores. And when you're doing a facial massage, it is good because it really allows you to get to the muscle and really massage the skin without it feeling like too slippery or just too congesting to where you feel like you're kind of slipping all over the face without making any real difference in the skin. Like you really want to stretch out the skin. So here I'm really just focusing on just loosening up the muscles and just getting that skin really loose. So when we go in with the Gua Sha, we can really hit the muscle and focus on that lymphatic drainage. I do a little lymphatic drainage in my massage and just kind of follow the skin's type. Now here I'm using the Gua Sha. So for the Gua Sha, I really like to follow the shape of the face. So you follow the shape of the face and then you really focus on draining that lymph passage. So here in this corner, you can see I put a little diagram. I did it off camera, but I pressed down about 8 to 12 times right next to her neck where you see that yellow line is on the diagram. That is your lymph passage system. There's also one by your ear, at the top of your ear and the side of your ear. And you want to drain those and open those up before you start your Gua Sha. Now, when you start your Gua Sha, you do how I'm doing in the video. You move it over, you move it to the lymph passage, and then you move it down the neck. This is really important because a lot of people will be like, oh, I don't know how Gua Sha works. I don't think it really works. But it's because they are missing this crucial step of not draining their lymph passage. Not opening up their lymph passage first. Opening up your lymph passage is going to clear out anything going on right there. So when you move the liquid and the fluid from your face, you're going to move it down the lymph passage. When you move it down the lymph passage, it can now move out your body when you go to the bathroom. And so that's why, after this, people get a facial or have lymphatic drainage, they have to pee or go to the bathroom or they're super tired or dehydrated or so, because you are cleaning out your lymph passage system. But if you don't open up the lymph passage, you are just kind of moving the liquid and you're moving the fluid around your face, but you're not actually draining anything. So you can see as I do it on the other side of her face, and just following that kind of structure of your face also really kind of helps you get that chiseled and that sculpted look everybody's obsessed with Gua Sha. I love Gua Sha. It's really good and it's really effective. You have to be in practice of it, but you can see results immediately done correctly. And you'll see closer to the end of this video and at the end of this part where you can see the change in kind of her facial structure a bit. Okay, so now we're getting into the Korean modeling mask. The thing about this mask is you really want to get that consistency correct. But this is everybody's favorite part. It is so fun. It is a silly little mask. And yeah, you just spread it around the face. I would say and recommend just kind of getting it as thick as possible, but not so much so you have to scoop it. But in that middle area where you want to scoop it and you want to pour it, and it'll be easier for you to spread. The good thing about this mask properties, it's very cooling. It helps calm any inflammation and all of that cellular renewal that we had earlier on in the process, where we have the steam and then we have all of the actives and the acids. along with the extractions and everything. We're in the cool down process of the facial. So this is a really good cooling method, and it's really fun. Clients love it. Now we're gonna remove it, and it takes right off. It doesn't really get stuck to the eyelashes or anything. So I really love this specific mask. So the next thing we will be using is the 7E Wellness Restore Conductive Gel. So you're supposed to be using a conductive gel whenever you are going to do microcurrent. You can use any one you want. I specifically use this one because it has green tea extract, it has hyaluronic, and it has collagen peptides. So it really focuses on anti-aging and skin tightening. So the microcurrent machine I use, I have it linked below. And if you want to use it at home, you can use the one I have in the shop. But microcurrent is so ideal in this situation. So earlier, we did the facial massage, and then we did the Gua Sha, and now we're doing a microcurrent. So we're really just focusing on that brightening and tightening and just lifting the skin. She wants to be snatched, she wants to be glowy, she wants to be balanced with her skin tone. So we really just want to focus on with the microcurrent and why that's so important. So the microcurrent after a Gua Sha and a massage really just helps tighten and lock in those results for up to 2 weeks. So when you do the massage and you do the Gua Sha, it really helps drain out that lymph passage like we talked about before, and drain all that waterway out your face. And then we're doing the Gua Sha, so it really helps tighten the muscles on your face. And then when you go in with the microcurrent, it really just helps lock in that tightness and that refinement of your skin so that it can stay, because the currents are going to run through your skin in order to tighten the muscles on your skin. So when you don't have waterway to move that around, and you've already kind of started to lay the groundwork for what the microcurrent can do, it is automatically just going to hit that muscle so that it can tighten it without you having to kind of do extra work or go over it multiple times in order to get the results that you want. Right now I'm working on her lines and her 11s, but let me know if you guys want an in-depth tutorial. So now we're going to do some red light therapy. I love red light therapy. This is a little red and blue light by the Saluma. If Saluma has one fan, it's me. If Saluma has no fans, I'm dead. I love Saluma. Saluma is a great. So now we're just going to wipe off the remaining amount of the mask. And that's that conductive gel. You can use it as a mask because it has the hyaluronic and that green tea, just to get that hydration in there with the Saluma and give it that extra just hydration to sink into the skin. Now, the last thing that we will be doing after I finish up with the mask is adding some sunscreen. I really love sunscreen. Sunscreen I'm using here is the La Roche-Posay. Anything over 50 is great, but it's most likely just 50 SPF. But anything under 50, I would recommend getting a 50. But I really like this sunscreen because look at that. No white cast. I wiped it off easy. It melted directly into the skin. She's glowing. She looks good. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe and comment below if you love my video. Thank you. Bye.